What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action. Spawning in the red color, playing as Oranos. His name is Matreiuss. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Zeus. His name is Hell's Ravage. The map is Watering Hole. This is a random ladder game. It's on 6.0, I believe. Hold on. It is on 6.0. So we get to see all of the nice changes in effect here for this matchup. For those of you who are unaware, Zeus has been hit with slight nerf on the Catastropos, taking its damage from 2 down to 1 damage per second. And his Odysseus was taken down to range in the Classical Age, getting that range back in the Heroic Age. Oranos, on the other hand, Promethean speed a little bit lowered. I think it's 10% lowered by 10%, and the shockwave no longer works on the villagers. So it's not. I can't even remember it. Okay, we'll see how things are going to go. We do see Matreiuss opening up with a bit of a funky build order here. He's jumped onto the wood line here early before coming over onto the food. Surprised to see that. That's not I'm not sure exactly what he's going for where that's concerned. He's going to be a little bit short on the wood here for everything anyways. So he's going to have to get a little bit more wood a little bit later. But we'll see how things are going to shape up. I'm always interested in what Matreiuss is doing build order wise, because he does come up with some interesting things. I guess he was just thinking, if I just chop the savanna trees down, I can then jump onto the wood line over, or the food line nice and easily, as we see the mana coming up here. And then Matreiuss, what he can do is he can chop down this tree a little bit and jump onto these rhinos over here at the perfect amount of wood in order to try and go for a 4-minute advance time, which might be a way to go. We'll see how things are going to end up shaping up here, though. As Hell's, on the other hand, for those of you who do not know who Hell's Ravage is, he is a very, very old player. He's been playing Age of Mythology for a very, very long time, but he often comes and goes in this one. But he's a very, very solid player. Has a lot of the strategy down, a lot of the ideas, or the fundamentals down, I should say. Though I guess sometimes he might jump into games and be a little bit out of date with the current meta, so to speak. But we'll see how things are going to go. He's going to be dropping his temple fairly shortly, and Matreiuss as well already has his temple up, and it does look like Matreiuss here is going for a 4-minute advance time. Very, very impressive. 4-minute advance time there for Matreiuss out of nowhere. And this is kind of standard in a way against Zeus, because it does play around some of the more obnoxious Zeus strategies. So we'll see how things are going to go. Normally when you see the 4-minute advance time, Oranos players would be going for some sort of an early Oracle attack onto the Zeus player's economy or something. But on a map like Watering Hole, very rarely do you really find the villagers, though. If that Oracle attack did hit on this position, it would be a different story, as we do see Athena coming through here for Hell's Ravage. A bit of a surprising pick here for Hell's. I wonder if he's going for a second town center in this position. Maybe up on this location here, he feels like the elephants are close enough to the town center to eat. Maybe a little bit too far here. He might also consider, no, he's definitely going for a fast second town center here. He's got inside of his main base. He's got the double rhinoceros, and things are going to be decent here for him. But we'll see what's going to happen. Matreiuss at this point, he's getting himself a military barracks, getting himself a counter barracks. He's eating his rhino. Does he have any upgrades? No upgrades, because he's gone for a very, very fast advance time where that's concerned, as the Promethean offspring are going to start roaming around the map, getting some scouting information. I think this is something that you can do. I think this is something you probably should be doing against civilizations where you know you're not going to get a whole lot of value out of these Promethean offspring. Because if you take a look, hitting all over the place here, all over here, like, I think it's a good idea to be going for those sorts of things, as the Catastropos does get spotted here. Going to get a couple of spanks before retreating away. I think the Promethean offspring is no longer as fast as the Catastropos, but he might be able to catch up to it depending on what Hells wants to do, and Hells is indeed going for this town center. There's elephants on this town center. So this one is really, really good for Hell's Ravage here. This map is beautiful. He's got a really nice gold mine back here, which can be defended quite easily with some walls. Got the Minotaur on this position to defend over here. We see the heroes. Well, not both the heroes, but okay, both the heroes coming out. Odysseus and Jason are out as the Promethean offspring going to come through here, spot the town center going up, and Matreiuss is going to know exactly what he needs to do moving forward here. As we'll see what his decision is going to be. Does he build mass units and try and hit this hunt? Does he go for or does he go for a town center straight away? Stop unit production. He hasn't really scouted the main base of Hell's Ravage just yet, so he doesn't know that this is going to be a position to attack. But Hell's here is got the granary up. Unfortunately, those villagers kind of went AWOL instead of attacking the rhinos there. But Hell's Ravage has also got himself the Anvil of Hephaestus. Anvil of Hephaestus plus Forge of Olympus gives a crazy amount of bonus or cheapness to those armory upgrades. We'll see if Hells is going to be able to get there. I cannot ! EA still, whatever that means. I cannot do that. There's no observer in the game. Yes, 5 minute town centers, 4 minute 30 town centers, 4 minute town centers. All of this stuff is possible. Just whether or not it is a good play or not. Even a 3, I think I've got as fast as a 348 town center, 348 classical age, building the town center at 348, which is possible. As we do see the Minotaur coming through here, going to get sent packing there by those Terma heroes. He could choose to shockwave this. It's not a bad shockwave by any metrics. There is a house going to get taken down. Hells at this point does have this back gold mine as well, which is really, really nice for him. Matreiuss is going to be finding himself struggling with pushing through here and getting an advantage. But we'll see how things are going to go as the tower going to get targeted down. We see the villagers under attack over here. One very low HP villager there going to go down. The Mamilla heroes are going to go down here as well, though, as Matreiuss pulls back the villagers, happily eating this elephant over here. There is also this one on this position, which Matreiuss could attempt to just kill with his own army here if he so chooses. Not a bad idea to kill enemy hunt in these sorts of positions when they've gone for a 2-town center like this. As another villager going to go down. Still, Hell's kind of making a slight mistake. Generally, you want that watchtower up relatively quickly against Oranos. Before the military buildings even come up is watchtowers. If you take a note out of the Nullus school of far second town center against Oranos, the build order is basically second town center, hand axe, pickaxe, watchtower, husbandry, and then military buildings, because watchtowers they're not going anywhere. There are a lot of immediate population, so to speak, in terms of damage and defense, obviously. But we'll see how things are going to go as the Murmillo does end up getting sniped down, and Matreiuss is going to be retreating back here. There's more farms coming up on this position. The gold over here, still getting grabbed by Hells. He's a little bit short on the resources at the moment. Having to eat all of these rhinos here. We see the second town center coming up for Matreiuss. 2 citizens on that one. Upgrades here for Matreiuss, non-existent, but he's getting his house up or his manor up here. One big thing still available for Hells, though, in this game, which cannot be understated, is he still has access to restoration. And one thing that Hells is going to be able to do in this game, as he decides to not try and drag this elephant in. I think he probably could have. One thing that Hells is going to be able to do in this game is just sit back and do a whole lot of nothing, potentially hit an underworld play and be in a really good position. He does decide to take this fight, which I think is a little bit unnecessary. The towers are going to be more than enough to hold on here as the Hippocon getting taken out there. A villager going to go down as well. No, good garrison micro there, but it's stuck inside of the watchtower for the time being, as Hells not putting any wall segments down here to defend. And Matreiuss going to be pulling back here as the villager retreating up here, going to grab those pigs and see what's going to happen. It's now Matreiuss swinging up with his army. He has a lot of population here. What's he doing? He's at 116 or 130. He's on 2 town centers. He's getting himself the medium infantry in He does need to keep on taking good trades here, but he's putting a lot of pressure on. The question is, does he go for the third town center? Does he go for the next age, putting up some more military buildings and an armory on the back here? The thing is that Matreiuss doesn't know that there's this gold mine back here. He's got to have an inkling that there's something back there because he's actually got his own back gold mine. You can kind of make a guess as to, I have a back gold mine, so that probably means my opponent has a back gold mine on these fair 5.0, 6.0 maps made by Rebels Rising. They're not exactly mirrored, but a lot of the like features are mirrored, so to speak. So like back gold mines, certain positioning of certain amounts of hunt. If you do go through the script, you could actually work out exactly what hunt spawns actually mean, or if you actually look at go through enough seeds of the map, you can actually start to see some patterns in these games. As Matreiuss going to be going to the heroic age relatively soon. Hells at this point, spamming up the buildings. He's losing a lot, but remember, all of his resources are back here. It doesn't really matter. Walls coming up over here as well to protect that elephant on that position is going to be a big deal as well. Trying to put up this military academy, a little bit risky here. Might lose that villager where that's concerned. But Matreiuss at this point, going through Thea, he's on 2 town centers only, which is a little bit different than what we see from Oranos in this sort of situation. Normally it's a 3 town center or a 4 town center play with serious aggression. But Hells at this point, he's just pumping units out. He's losing a lot of houses, so he has to continue putting those down, which is making life a little bit tough. Plus, he doesn't have that hand axe up, so his wood income is a little bit slower than he might like as the army sitting in position to defend this one. The Term are going to be getting some good damage here onto those hoplites as the villager coming through to get that wall back up, as Hells kind of needs to push through here, take this fight, get the wall up, and then retreat out through here if he wants to defend where that's concerned. As Matreiuss still getting value on this position. Does lose a handful of units, but Hells is defending nicely. Still needs to get those houses down. Matreiuss, on the other hand, 3rd town center, now coming up after the heroic age. Keep those timings in the back of your mind because they do matter quite a bit in terms of whatever Matreiuss is going for in this game. Also deciding to go through Thea here instead of going through Hyperion. Bit of an interesting decision considering Hyperion gets you access to the state here. Lots of wood in the bank, lots of favor in the bank would be a nice idea to go for. But Matreiuss can also spam out Stymphalian birds if he so chooses against Zeus. No Chiron like against Hades, who can run around the map really quickly. Odysseus quite slow. The Stymphalian birds are quite effective against him. But we'll see how things are going to go here. As Hells clicking up to the heroic age, going through Dionysus. What is Dionysus doing in this game? Apollo makes a lot more sense. Why? Because Hells is going to be able to do things like underworld this back town center, kill off the town center, kill off the villagers on this gold mine, kill off the villagers on this gold mine here as well. He knows this is here, so he knows that's a very valuable position to be attacking. But Dionysus, it's going to give him bronze so he can push out of his base a little bit. He's already got restoration to do that, and maybe he's going to be attempting to use that to get himself this town center and call it a day here. But Dionysus about to hit. Odysseus at 16 range, going to go up to 18 range, going to be a little bit more efficient at dealing with those Stymphalian birds. But as I always say, the easiest way to pick off a Stymphalian bird is to right click underneath the Stymphalian bird, and then as soon as you touch that shadow, right click onto the Stymphalian bird. That's going to get you the maximum amount of damage done onto said bird there, and you can already see it's getting microed back there as soon as it gets targeted down. Restoration getting dropped down there as well as Hells realizes he needs that to hold on. Matreiuss going to be pulling back here. Is Matreiuss going Mythic Age yet? Because he hasn't got any real upgrades. He's already going Mythic Age now, as he does decide to get it out of this location there, but that does give Hells a little bit of initiative now in this game. He's going to be able to use that bronze, push forward. Matreiuss doesn't have any of those upgrades he probably could have gotten. He could have gotten himself heavy infantry. He could have gotten himself bronze armor and all the other good stuff that could have happened from that. But instead, Mythic Age, the choice here is the Hydra unfortunately dies there way before anything really important comes in terms of the extra heads. And it looks like with the help of this bronze, Hells is going to be able to push Matreiuss back. Hells in a great position now, but he does have to be thinking about how can he easily deal with a Tartarian Gate, because that's obviously what's coming for him. You already know that Mythic Age is coming. If you haven't hit the economy of an Oranos player, you know the Mythic Age is coming if there's no Heroic Age upgrades on the enemy army. You know it. If you're in front on upgrades against Oranos, you know they're teching to the Mythic Age. You already know. So we'll see what Hells can do here. And does Matreiuss already have a unit in position to drop the upgrade here, or not the upgrade, the Tartarian Gate? I don't see anything, but he does send something forward here. Not yet. Nope. Looks like it's going to be dropping Tartarian Gate a little bit later than he would have liked. But we do see that Eld's most likely here looking to grab this third town center. He is showing that one up here as well. But now we have that heavy Mermillo in. Matreiuss at this point can grab himself immediate champion infantry as well, which is probably what he wants to do. But Hells can now go into Toxotes, which are really, really good against both the Arcus and the Mermillo. Why? Because they do more damage. We do see those Hippocon coming through, going to attempt to target down the Arcus here. But nice micro there from Matreiuss as the Hoplites coming back in onto this position. We do see the Mermillo pushing through here as well to drop that Tartarian Gate down into the main base there as the Hoplites coming through. Going to jump straight in onto this position to take out those Arcus here in an attempt to get this town center back up. Odysseus here kind of getting sniped down though as the Tartarian Gate is up. A handful of Hoplites are going to march back here. You need to send the heroes back here as well. Otherwise, everything gets taken down. Matreiuss already has himself Masons in this game as well to help out with that. Plus, he's getting those Fanatics out. Fanatics very, very good against nearly everything that Zeus can make. Zeus obviously can make himself Toxotes, which don't get a bonus damage, don't take bonus damage versus the Fanatic there. But also the Pacifists are quite strong against those Fanatics as well. They basically trade equally or better in terms of resources. As the town center is still getting denied here, the Tartarian Gate gets cleaned up. Hells doesn't really lose all too much, but he does click up through Hera here. So this is really interesting for Hell's Ravage. He hasn't managed to get the town center, but he's going through Hera, which should take out an entire army of Matreiuss. Whether or not this is going to be a good idea remains to be seen as the villagers are getting taken out by these Tartarian spawns. The other problem here for Hells is he doesn't really have a good gold mine, and he doesn't have that fortress down just yet. And in this position, Hells decides to tap out. Oh, I don't think this game was 100% lost here for Hells. But maybe if it stayed in the Heroic Age a little bit longer and just bought upgrades, especially because he had that Anvil of Hephaestus, bought the upgrades, stayed in the Heroic Age, and then went Hera, maybe that would have been a better idea here for Hells. But Matreiuss shows how well the pressure still happens here for the Oranos. He's still holding on to a handful of shockwaves for a little bit later into the game. Didn't even need them, but he'd really put the pressure onto Hells. And even with a perfect map here, he's got for a 2 town center with the elephant on this town center, with the bonus rhino in the main base, with the back gold mine over here for Hells. Matreiuss was perfectly able to put pressure on and really make life quite difficult for Matreiuss here. The one thing I think may have changed this game a little bit would have been Underworld onto this town center here, because what it would have done is not only pick off the town center, but also pick off the villagers over here. Plus, when the Tartarian Gate comes down, he could retreat back through that Underworld and take it out, because you know that the army of Matreiuss would have retreated back up here to defend. So then you get that time to kill off that Tartarian Gate, no problems, and everything would have been hunky-dory for our Hell's Ravage Zeus player. But going through Dionysus honestly didn't get that much value, and it's a little bit unfortunate that that's the way the Dionysus works. It's a bit of a tough god to really use, with the exception of on like maps like Midgard. And I'll talk a little bit about this. Go off on a tangent before we finish off here. Dionysus, what is good about Dionysus is the ability to really hit the land hard on a specific location. It's a timing attack god. So why is it good on a map like Midgard and not good on a map like watering hole. What are the differences? Well, the differences are Midgard is a smaller map. Midgard's got no natural barriers to entry onto resources like these water ponds here. And Midgard, like, what's going to happen is you're just going to get hit with the gold and life is going to get really tough against that bronze because it's very simple to just right click on that location and just hit bronze, take the win on that fight. Your opponent has to leave and then you push him off the gold. Whereas here, your opponent can just, sure, you could possibly bronze attack this gold mine here, but your opponent can just move over onto this gold mine and then you go, well, what can I do now as my bronze runs out? And that's just kind of the nature of the bronze upgrade. But anyways, that's my tangent. That's the game. If you guys enjoyed this one, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next game.